Hello, everyone. My name is Lexi, and this is the Sincerely Self podcast. Today, I'm joined by Lily. Her account is Sprays by Lil, and we're just gonna do a little business podcast again. The last business podcast that I did was with Jade, talking about her nails that she's been doing and everything like that. And I love just uplifting women focused businesses and ones that just promote women's positivity. So, Lily, tell us a little bit about you, like when you got into spray tanning and just what you do
Yeah,
outside of that.
yeah, for sure. So I first started getting into spray tanning probably it's been about 5 years. So it's been quite a while. I started at a local tanning salon. That's kind of where I first got introduced to it. I was 16 at the time in high school working there. And I was just learning how to do spray tans. Like I would just spray tan other high schoolers, things like that. It was just like a little part-time after school job. And then after that, after I left that job, I kind of stopped for a while. And my friends were like, "We miss your spray tans. Like, you need to,
Get back on
yeah,
that.
they're like, come, I need another spray tan." And I was like, okay, like I'll buy a little machine. So I just bought like a little like tiny spray tan machine, and I would just like pop it up whenever my friends wanted a spray tan, just do it out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, "What is holding you back? Like, why don't you want to like do this?" And I was like, I don't know. I think part of me was like, I don't really have a space to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I was working a full time job. And so I was like, the only time I can do it is after work.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when they were like, just do it. My friends were really pushing me to do it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So after those years, about a year ago is when I started taking it more seriously. And that is when I started my business, Sprays by Lil. And it's kind of just been going from there. I just do it in my
Yeah.
little two-bedroom apartment, for now. And I love it.
Yeah, I have gotten a spray by Lil before, and it was amazing. And one of the main reasons I wanted to do this podcast with you was because of when I got my spray tan with you. Because me and Lily have known each other for a long
A
time.
long time.
Like, I think
Yes.
since high
Yeah, oh,
school,
yeah.
like junior year,
Yeah,
senior year.
yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute. Yeah. And I remember we were
Yeah.
just talking, like when we got our spray tan, you were kind of telling me like why you wanted to make your own space to do it and just how it's been for you. And I just thought it was so cool that you wanted to create a space where everybody felt comfortable.
Exactly.
Because in the spray tan community, even though people don't mean for it to happen, I think there is a lot of judgment that comes from that. And so I just love that you've been able to create a space where girls feel like comfortable, they feel confident, and they feel like it's like a safe space for them.
For sure. Yeah. In my experience, like kind of working at other tanning salons, things like that, I have noticed that like the spaces aren't very welcoming. And so that is something that I wanted to like bring to the table. Like when I learned how to spray tan, I was taught that it's okay to not talk to a client, when they're like butt naked in front of you, like just not to talk to them. And I always thought that was a little weird. And I was like, okay, like that's fine, but I felt uncomfortable. I know they felt uncomfortable because
just the silence.
And they're trusting you with like, seeing their body, everything like that. And I just was like, I hate this, And so when I was like, I want to make my own space, I was like, I want to make it super positive and I want people to like feel comfortable because I get that it can be scary. And I tell people that I'm like, I don't want you to be scared, but I know how you feel because I've been in the situation myself. And so I think like me understanding how they're feeling kind of like helps them feel a little bit more calm with it, And it's like so fun because like people will be like, I just am like worried that you're going to be looking, things like that. And it's so funny because I like don't remember like what people look like for real. Like people, like I will compliment like tattoos and they'll come back another time and I'll compliment their same tattoos because I seriously like don't remember. Like I'm not really like looking, when I'm giving spray tans. I'm just making sure that like the pattern's correct and everything like that. So
you're literally just doing the work part of it.
Exactly. And I've done it so many times that it's just like, bread and butter at this point.
No, for real. I love that. So now we know kind of why you wanted to create your own space and kind of make this like, at first it was kind of a side hustle. How has it been going? I know your Instagram has been kind of blowing up. So many girls have been going to you, which is so fun.
Yes, it's so good. I think social media is so good. I'm honestly not the best like poster and things like that, but I think that my business has really started booming by like word of mouth. You
Yeah.
know, like people are like, oh, have you heard of this girl, like Sprays by Lil? You know, she just does it out of her house, you know? And I think that that is something that is like people love, is that I do it out of my house. So it's more
Yeah.
welcoming. Like they come in and they're like, oh, it's cozy in here. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
I'm just walking into like a salon to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that is something that I love. But yeah, I have been kind of going a little bit crazy. Like it's honestly been really good though. And I love
Mm-hmm.
like meeting new people all the time. You know, it's
Yeah.
so great. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, talking to like every age, like high schooler up
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, grandma. I love it.
Yeah.
So it's so fun.
Yeah, it literally does. It has like such a homey feel. I remember when
Mhm.
I came to get my spray tan, I was like, okay, period. I was like, it's so like
Yeah.
comforting, you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
That's amazing. Also, it's dance season, so I'm
Oh,
sure it's been like
yes.
popping
I
off
love the
lately.
dances. My dance
Mhm.
girlies, I love them. They're my
Mhm.
favorites. So,
That's awesome. And the fact you get multiple
mhm.
age groups.
Exactly.
Like
Yep.
I feel like a lot of places, especially studios, I feel like some people might be like, you know, that's way too
Mhm.
intimidating. I don't
Mhm.
feel comfortable going into that big of a
Yeah.
space.
Mhm.
So the fact you have like just your
Yeah.
home,
It's so
they're
fun.
like, okay, this
I
is
know.
fine.
I'm like, I have girls like as young as 8 that come to me, you know, for like
Wow.
their own dances and
Yeah,
like
and cheer,
competitions.
yeah.
Exactly. So,
What was it for you that really helped you kind of get over your fear of pursuing this? Because this was something that you really liked to do, something
mhm.
you enjoyed, but obviously, like for everybody, it
For
is
sure.
so scary to pursue
Mhm.
what we actually like want to do,
Mhm.
just out of fear of it like not working or just other people's opinions.
Yeah.
So for you, what was kind of that moment that you were able to move past it and just
Yeah.
be like, you know what, I do want to kind of do this?
Yeah, I think in the beginning I was kind of like almost, I don't want to say embarrassed, but I was kind of like, what if I do this and it doesn't work out? Like I
The
was
fear of
so,
failure.
yes, I was so worried about it. And so that's why in the beginning I was like, hey, I'm going to take like a couple clients a week. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Just like new people, and we'll just like go from there. And I think I was worried about what people would like think about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think just the more time I did it and the feedback that I got from my clients, I think that that just, you know, made
Motivated
like,
you.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like I was like, okay, I can do this. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And so I think like even other girls who came and got spray tans for me, like were like there to support me, and they're like, yes, like you're so good. Like let me post about you, things like that. And so
Yeah.
I think that that was like, I was like, okay, like
Mm-hmm.
sure, like I love this. I can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
No, I totally get that. When I started the podcast, really what kept me doing it
mm-hmm.
was like my friends, or like I would get like random comments on it
Mm-hmm.
telling me that it helped them.
Yeah.
And like things like that, it
Mm-hmm.
really, really just kind of keeps you motivated to do it
Exactly.
and
I
keeps it
agree.
going.
And you're so good.
Oh, thanks, dude. Your tans are amazing.
You're so sweet.
Amazing. Another thing I was gonna say, just with like the spray tanning,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at least in high school for me, it kind of seemed like spray tans gave the effect of like you needed to change
Mm-hmm.
your appearance, and that was the
Yes.
main reason why people did it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like, and especially in like your page and
Mm-hmm.
in your space, it's kind of turned into just enhancing what you have
Oh yes.
instead of
Exactly.
like trying to change anything about yourself, literally just enhancing yourself.
Exactly.
And you also do something where you'll post like some of the clients, like the pictures they send you or the text that they send you. And I feel like it makes it more of like a safe space where
Mm-hmm.
women are like, okay, I'm not like going to change something about myself. I'm just going to enhance what I already have.
Exactly. I feel like like I agree with what you say. Like spray tans, people used to think of it like, okay, I have to get it for this or I have to get it for that. But I have clients who come to me just because it helps them feel more confident. You know,
Yeah.
and they are like, I love being tan. Like it's not like they're like sad or anything like how they
Mm-mm.
are. They are just
Yeah.
like my features pop so much. Like
Mm-hmm.
especially with tattoos and things, a spray tan
Yeah.
on top is seriously like pops it so much. And
Seriously.
so I think that that's like a big thing is like people like you said, like spray tans are there to like enhance it and like make you feel more confident, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and like people just feel more confident when they have spray tans. And so
Yes.
I don't know, you don't like have to have an excuse to get a spray tan. You can just get it because you want it, you know, it makes you
Yeah.
feel like beautiful. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's okay.
And I feel like, especially in Utah, people are always like, oh, Utah and the fake tans. But like
Yes.
half of the year, it's you
Yes.
can't tan here.
Yes.
Like in other places, people can go and get a
Mm-hmm.
natural tan if they feel
I
like they
agree.
want to be more tan. But here,
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to do that.
Oh
Even in the
yeah.
summertime, it's hard
Oh yeah.
to be able to tan in
Oh
Utah.
yeah.
And so, like, we kind of need to resort to
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So,
Yeah. Well, and I think like the like kind of the way like spray tans are, they are changing a ton.
Yeah.
Like I remember like even like when I was doing spray tans like 5 years ago when I first started, like people would look at them and be like, oh my heck, you look like an Oompa or things like that, you know, like you're orange. And I'm like, I get that, but I'm like, you have to find somebody who can create a solution that matches you. You know, it's not a one size fit all.
Yeah.
Like nobody's a one size fit all, you know? And so I'm like, customizing solutions is something that I love to do.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm always customizing solutions to people's skin, like their skin type. So I always like will come out, you know, natural, you know.
That was something I noticed like when I got my tan from you was you were like, hey, this is a solution that's going to work for you. And I've gotten spray tans other places before and I had never had anyone be like, this is the solution that's going to work for you. They just be like, oh, well, how dark do you want to be?
Yeah.
So I remember you were like, and then our friend Liv came after me and her solution was completely different because that's what worked for her skin tone. Exactly. And I just remember thinking, okay, scientists, like that's so cool.
My little potions that I mix
literally.
up.
Yeah, I love that. So potions, especially with Halloween.
I know.
That's amazing.
Little potion that we're making over here.
Yes. Okay, so I kind of want to talk a little bit about how you're entering like a new chapter of your life and you're going to be like putting more into this and just like how you feel about it. I feel like so many people, like we were talking about, I feel like so many people are in that stage.
Yes.
So
it's so scary. Yes, so scary. I totally will.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so yesterday, I'll tell you about it. I was laid off from my job. So I have been working at this job for like 2.5 years. So this has been my full-time job, and then spray tans have just kind of been my part-time job.
Yeah.
Like on the side after work, things like that. And I have loved it. But recently I've been thinking, I'm like, I just want to do spray tans full time. I'm like, why am I working at a job, which I love the people at this job. I love the people. But I'm like, why am I working at a job that I, one, didn't go get my degree for. Two, I don't want to work at a desk job my whole life. You know,
you're not passionate about it.
I was like, I just go to work every day because I get a paycheck. You know, it was kind of just like, you know, everyday type of thing. And I was like talking to my husband, Evan, about it. And I was just like, why do I just wake up every day and like not want to go to work, you know? And he's like, you shouldn't feel like that. Like you shouldn't. And so we were actually having this conversation this week. Like every single day I was like waking up.
Before.
And so then I went to work yesterday. I got laid off and I feel like I wasn't sad about it. Like obviously it was something that was really scary and I was like, what am I gonna do?
Like that safety cushion is gone.
It was scary because I'm like, my paycheck that I get every 2 weeks, you know, from clocking in and out is gone. You know what I mean now? And then my husband's like, you're gonna be okay. Like he's like, you've always wanted to do spray tans full time. He's like, I think this is the little push that you needed to kind of do it, you know? And so I've just like kind of been trying to have that mindset. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. You know, I knew that I probably wasn't going to work there forever. Yeah. But I just don't think I was ready for it. And I didn't have all my ducks in a line yet. Yeah. And so that's why I feel like I was more a little worried about it. But now I'm just like, hey, it's going to be okay. Yeah. I'm going to do my spray tans full time, you know, and see how it goes.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah. We were talking about that before the episode started. Yeah. And I had no idea that you had been like talking about it leading up to it happening. Yeah, it's so scary when we were literally saying that, like, I feel like so many people are in this phase of life right now where the job that they had isn't working out, the living situation they had isn't working out, or just like having things just kind of fall apart in a way. And I think this is really, fall's a season of change. I really feel that, like losing what is no longer serving you. But change is so scary. Even if it's something you haven't been wanting to work there for a while, you've been ready to move on, but when it actually happens, it is such a scary feeling. Yes. But I am so excited for you. I really feel like once things kind of fall apart that are holding us back, we're able to, because you can feel what's meant for you. Like you can feel what you're supposed to be leaning towards. You can feel what you are passionate about and what you know you're supposed to do. But we always get in our head about, because society pushes like, oh, well, you need to have like the financial cushion and you need to, you know, be ready in case it goes this way or that way, you know? And so just being able to trust in yourself and rely on it Yeah, I'm glad you're like
Yeah.
feeling pretty good
Well,
about it.
and it's so fun because it's like it's new opportunity. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm like, I don't think I would have done this if I didn't have the little push out the door. And if I didn't
Yeah.
have, I feel like doing spray tans, I have such a like strong group of women who are like, go for it. Like you can do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like even my husband, like he's
Your
always
husband's
by
like,
my
"Ah."
side. He's like cheering me on. He's like, do
Uh-huh.
it. He's like, you got this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I think like having that support is like so good, you know?
Mhm.
And so I don't know. I think I love that about like women. Like I think we're all just here to support each other, you know?
Seriously.
And like even people I don't know, like I
Mhm.
posted something yesterday about it and I was like just joking. I was like, come get a spray tan, you
You're like,
know,
"Please."
because I don't have a job anymore. I mean, this is
Yes.
my little part time.
Uh-huh.
But like even people that I have never spray tanned or like don't even really know, like were commenting and like texting me and they're like, hey, are you okay? Like, what can I do to help? Like things
Oh.
like that. Like they're like, hey,
Mhm.
can I bring you something? And I'm like, you don't even know where I live, but
Yeah, you're like,
you know, I'm like, that is so sweet. And so I
yeah.
think like just like spreading that, like it helps me like want to spread that as well. You know, I
Mhm.
think it's just like kind of a chain reaction.
Yeah. And I
So,
love how you've been so transparent about it. Like
mhm,
you posted about it
mhm,
on your spray tan
yeah,
account and we're just like super open and honest with everyone.
mhm,
And I feel like that's been an ongoing trend,
for
like
sure.
on your account. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
complete transparency.
Yes.
And I think that is a good reason that you
Mhm,
have such a strong support system because
mhm,
they're like, she's being open and honest with me. So of course I can be open and honest with
exactly.
her.
Yeah.
That is so fun that people are trying
I
to bring you
know.
stuff
They're
and
so
like
sweet.
I love women uplifting
Me
women. It's
too. It's
amazing.
so good. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I could ask for anything better, honestly. Like
Mhm.
the people who support me and follow me, I like it's insane. I love
Mhm.
them. I love you guys.
And it's so exciting cuz I remember when you first made
Mhm,
your account
mhm.
and like just to see how far it's gone. You haven't been doing it very long, right? Like a
Yeah,
year
it's
maybe?
been on October 12th. It's been one full year of me with my
Wow.
first post
Uh-huh.
ever. So
That's crazy. It's only
I
been a
know. Isn't
year.
it nuts?
Yeah. What
So
are like some of your plans for the future with like your business,
yes.
especially since it's like your main focus
Hmm.
now, you're able to put the time into it?
Yes. I think I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Just because like I was laid off. So I'm like trying
Yeah,
to
you're
like
like,
figure out I was kind of thinking a little bit about it and I think I do want to go full time.
mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I want to keep doing it here or if I
Yeah.
want to go to like like somewhere else, you know, maybe like developing like solution brands, you know,
Yeah.
like things like
Mm-hmm.
that. I think that it can like become super big, you
Yeah.
know, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
opening my own like welcoming tanning space. I have no
Yeah.
idea, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the fun thing is like I still have so much time to figure it out. You
Yeah.
know, I'm young. I've only been doing this for a year and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I need to like really write down like, you know, my goals
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, which I haven't done yet, but I need to
But
do.
I think that's amazing. I think even with like you barely being thrown into like, oh, okay, this is my full-time job now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you already are like, okay, you have things that you want to work towards in the
Mm-hmm.
future. And I
Exactly.
think that is so cool. All right, so the last thing that we're going to kind of talk about a little bit is just Halloween is coming up. This episode is going to be uploaded in October, but before Halloween. So, with Halloween, it is a perfect time to go and get a spray tan
Oh yeah.
just to feel your prettiest, especially in Utah. Like, it's getting cold.
These winters are brutal.
They're
Even the summers.
brutal.
Like I've had so many people come to me and they're like, "This summer, I cannot even like get a little base tan." Like
Mm-mm.
it's insane. So
Yeah, I remember when I would come and visit Utah in the summer, I would try and tan, and it was just
just
not
can't
really
do it. The
happening.
sun's just not the
The
same.
UV was not the same. It really was not. And with like homecoming season, I'm sure you've already had like so many people with
Yes.
dances
Mm-hmm.
kind of coming to you. How has it been like in just that space with
Yes.
like the high schoolers?
I think working with like high schoolers and having them, high schoolers are probably, I would say, about 75% of my clientele. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is so good for me because I remember in high school, I didn't really have anybody to like talk to about things. And I
Yeah.
think that is something that I love is like I feel like I'm such an open space that like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, high schoolers like are like, "Hey, this girl is almost like my age, you know, just a couple years older and
Yeah.
she is doing this, like I can do anything." You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I think I've talked to a lot of high schoolers and I'm like, what do you want to do after high school? And they're like, I have no idea. And I'm like, that's okay. Like, I did not know either, you know, but I'm like, if you ever need to talk, you know that I'm here. Like, I think my clients, most of my clients are friends now. Like they are like my best friends. Like I follow them on my normal account, you know, things like that. And I don't know, I think like uplifting like high schoolers is so good, especially because high school's rough.
High school's rough.
So
I was gonna say, I was thinking of when I was in high school, like I would go get spray tans a lot. And I remember like, yeah, I just definitely did not feel like I could talk to my spray tan artist about like what I wanted to do in the future, anything like that. And it just was not even a conversation that was kind of opened up in that space. So the fact that like these girls, you know, they already have so much kind of going on with school, the fact that they can come and like get a tan and like just kind of talk things out, and it's just a little girl talk session, and then 100%. They leave and they're good and they go they're glowing and they just feel a lot better because they're able to talk things out as well.
Well, and it's like not even like just about like what people want to do. Like I have had some people come to me and they're like, I need help, like I need advice. Like what, like I've had some people come to me who are like in abusive relationships, and I'm like, what do you need me to do to help you? You know, and I give them the best advice that I can. And like I've had like some people like leave because of these things, because I've told them my advice and think, you know, things that
you're just being authentic.
Exactly. Like I want to be honest in like all aspects of my life, everything that I do. And so I don't know, I think I have a ton of conversations with a ton of different people, and I think that is something that I do love, is like people can trust me with those conversations. You know, I have very open and raw conversations with most of my clients, and I think that I love that, you know. It's great. So
you know, that's amazing, especially I'm sure compared to like some of the jobs that you did when you were first starting out, like this space compared to that space, like I'm sure you feel like you can have so much more raw conversations with people just because it's been opened up to that here.
Exactly. So I just love the open, honest conversations and making everyone feel welcome and everything like that. So.
I love that. If you guys enjoyed this episode, you can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, all of the things. This one is also going to be on YouTube, so you can check it out on YouTube. I also post little clips on the Instagram and the TikTok, so all of those will be linked in my link tree. If you want to check out Lilly and get a spray tan from Lilly and follow her account and just join that space, I will also link that down below.
You're so sweet.
I had to, bro. The season's coming up. They need to get a spray tan, simply. If you guys like this episode, make sure you give it a thumbs up and you share it with people. I think especially women like need to know that there is a space that is safe in this type of thing, in this like the spray tan community. There is a space they can go where it's just a little girl talk session. And I will see you guys next week.